Okay, part 2, investment in bonds at amortized cost. So, doon, iwanan na natin yung tungkol sa fair value. Dito tayo sa amortized cost. Ibig sabihin, may gagawin tayong amortization table, ang mahiwagang amortization table. Pwede tayong maggamit ng amortized cost kapag una, dapat parehas present yan. Yung business model natin is hahawakan natin yung financial asset para makakolekta tayo ng mga bayad mula doon sa issuer. Parang kaya natin siya binili is makapag-generate tayo ng cash inflows from that certain bonds for specific dates. Kasi compared sa stocks, ang stocks hindi mo sigurado kung kailan mag-i-issue ng cash dividends eh. Dito naman, specific yung dates kung kailan ka makaka-receive ng interest income. Letter B, the contractual cash flows are solely payments of principal and interest on the principal amount outstanding. Na yung mga binabayad sa iyo sa letter A is puro pambayad sa principal at interest nung kautangan sa atin. So, more on talagang debtor-creditor relationship dito. Amortized cost is initially recognized recognition is the initial recognition amount of the investment minus repayments plus amortization discount minus amortization of premium minus reduction for impairment or uncollectibility. Statement lang siya, pero makikita naman natin siya sa mga illustrations. So, meron tayong cost. Tapos, ang minus ay repayments. Kapag binayaran tayo agad, so, i-deduct natin yun sa amortized cost. And, ang plus ng amortization discount, tsaka yung premium, titingnan natin muna kung discount ba or at premium natin nakuha yung bonds. Kaya, saka natin i-consider yung amortization ng premium at discount. So, kung siya ay discount, ina-add natin yung amortization nun. Kapag siya ay premium, dinideduct natin. Okay? And minus the reduction for impairment. Kung merong impairment, ibabawas natin sa value, sa capitalized amount ng bonds at amortized cost. When bonds are acquired and classified as financial asset at amortized cost, the bond investment are classified as non-current investment. Paano natin maaalala yung kapag discount, i-add natin? Kapag minus, i-add back natin sa amortized cost. Pwedeng i-consider natin, kaya sa tinawag na discount is nabili nating mura. Pero in the end, kung 1 million talaga siya, tas nabili natin siya ng 900,000, dapat at the end, maging 1 million. So, from 900,000 na i-record natin, i-add back natin yung discount na 100,000. And vice versa na sa premium. Kasi hindi pwedeng magsabay ang discount at premium. Amortization of premium or discount. Investment in bonds shall be measured subsequently at amortized cost. This means that any premium or discount on acquisition of long-term investment in bonds must be amortized. Ibig sabihin, parang ina-allocate sa period na existing yung bonds. Parang amortization is counterpart ng depreciation. The difference between amortization and depreciation is that amortization is more on sa intangible asset. Depreciation naman is for tangible asset. Kasi nakikita mo nagdi-depreciate nagde-degenerate yung kanyang physical appearance, yung kanyang functions. Pero yung intangible asset, more on imaginary computation siya, imaginary values na meron tayong basis, traditional basis or based sa mga historical computation. Yun ang difference ng amortization and depreciation. But both of them are allocating such amount or certain peso, certain value of, sa certain sum of money on the period na ginagamit natin yung kanyang main account. Ang main account sa depreciation, syempre yung asset or yung PPE, kapag naman yung amortization is yung investment or yung note receivable, ganyan. Bond premium or discount is amortized over the life of the bonds. Yan. Diba? Kapag naman depreciation, it is over the life of the asset. On the part of the bondholder, tayo, the life of the bonds is from the date na acquire natin siya hanggang sa maturity. So, importante din yun. Amortization is done. Yan yung entries. Okay, yung interest income nakaka-apekto sa value ng interest in bonds. Amortization may be made on interest dates or at the end of the period. It is more convenient to record amortization at the end of the reporting period para hindi na nakakalito sa financial statements. The philosophy of amortization. The reason for amortization of bond, premium, or discount is to bring the carrying amount of the investment to face amount on the date of maturity. So, kanina balikan natin. 1 million yung face value ng bonds. Nabili natin siya at 900,000. Is it discount or premium? So, siya ay parang discount. Kasi tayo as bumili, naka-discount tayo. Parang gayon nga yun. Pero tingnan din natin kung mali ako or tama sa mga susunod nating slides. Yan. So, kung siya ay 900,000 na nabili, 900,000 natin siya initially i-record. Pero, in the long run, nabuhay yung ating bonds. Hanggang maturity niya, dapat mabobrought up natin siya at the value of 1 million pesos. Kasi yung 1 million pesos na yun yung amount na ibabayad sa atin. So, meron tayong discount na 100,000 which should be added to the amortized cost. To the beginning value ng amortized cost. When the bonds are redeemed on the date of maturity, pupunta na tayo kay binilhan natin. Kukunin na natin yung 1 million kahit 900,000 lang natin siya nabayaran. The entry will simply be a debit to cash and a credit to investment bonds at face value. Kasi nga, di ba, again and again, nabili natin siya 900,000. Pero marireceive natin is 1 million pesos. So, lumabas na kumita tayo ng 100,000 at discount. The bondholder is a creditor and will collect on the date of maturity an amount equal only to the face amount of the bonds and no more or no less. Conceptually, bond premium is a loss on the part of the bondholder because the bondholder paid more than what can be collected on the date of maturity. Such loss is not recognized outright but allocated over the life of the bonds to be offset against the interest income to be derived from the bond investment. Kasi di ba yung bond investment, kumikita naman tayo ng interest dyan. Pero minsan mabibili natin siya at 1,100,000. Although 1 million pesos lang naman yung face value niya. So, nabinayaran natin is 1,100,000. Lugi tayo ng premium niya na 100,000. So, at premium, kasi kaya siya at premium, masyado namang mahalaga yung bonds na yun para bayaran natin at 1.1, diba? So, yung premium na yun, yung 100,000, i-deduct natin siya sa 1,100,000 na binayaran natin para mag-arrive doon sa 1 million pesos at maturity. Minsan, ginagawa natin yun kasi upon computation, malaki yung makukuha nating interest income. Let's say 1,100,000 natin siya binayaran, pero pag in-accumulate natin lahat ng interest nating marireceive, aabot pala ng 500,000. So magneneto na kumita tayo ng 500,000 interest income less premium na 100,000. Meron tayong net income from the investment na 400,000. On the other hand, yun, kabila naman bond discount, na discuss ko na yan. Such process of allocating the bond premium is deduction from the interest income. Okay, 'di ba? Kanina sabi ko 500 minus 100,000 na premium. And yung bond discount naman is i-add natin sa interest income as what is traditionally called amortization. Acquisition date. So, sample problem. Nag-purchase tayo ng 1 million peso face amount. 12% at 94. Semi-annually, April 1. So, tama naman. Wala tayong iisipin na in between April 1. Wala tayong accrued. So, kung ating i-reconstruct yung first statement, we purchase 1 million peso face amount na 12% per annum yung bonds at 940,000, 0.94 times 1 million. Makukuha natin yung cash. Naka-receive tayo annual interest October 1. So, April 1 to October 1 is 6 months. Yan, madali na i-compute. December 31. December 31 mag-a-accrue tayo kasi reporting period talaga yung December 31. And to account, meron na tayong nag-lapse na yung time na October, November, December, 3 months. Pero hindi pa tayo entitled mag-receive. Kaya lang, meron na tayong legal right for such interest. Hindi pa nga lang natin siya marireceive. Kaya, ang ating accrued interest receivable is 30,000. Okay? Nung December 31 din, amortization for bond discount for 9 months under straight line method of amortization. Kapag straight line method, more on dinidistribute lang natin siya sa years kung kailan buhay yung bonds. Yung investment in bonds kanina, nabili natin siya at 96. 94. So, yung 60,000 dyan, i-amortize natin over 5 years. Sinabi ba na 5 years? Ayun, 2025. Ngayon yung 60,000 divided by 5 is 24,000. Divided by 12, so monthly, meron tayong 2,000. From April 1 to December 31, merong 9 months. So, yung 9 months times 2,000 is ay 60, balik tayo. Nag-mental math kasi ako. So, 60,000 divided by 5 years is 12,000. So, 12,000 na annual interest divided by 12 months is 1,000 per month. Merong 9 months from April 1 to December 31. Yung 9 months na yun yung i-multiply natin sa 1,000 per month. Makukuha din natin yung 9,000. Yan, but may... Ang reversal, na pag-aralan yan sa accounting 101, yung mga reversing entries. Kaya natin i-reversal yan kasi i-consider lang natin no December 31 na meron na tayong marireceive. Okay? No period ng December 2020, may receive na natin siya. Entitled tayo. I mean, meron na tayong legal right. I-reverse natin siya kasi to reflect na wala pa tayong na-record. Bakit natin ginagawa yan? Para at the date na ma-receive natin yung semi-annual interest, i-record natin siya ng buo. Hindi na nakakalito. Okay? Ito lang is for the purpose na i-establish na meron tayong, ay nasan ba yun? Ito, na meron tayong entitlement or legal right for the interest kay issuer na 30,000. Pero again, i-reverse natin yan sa January 1 para pag dumating na yung cash sa atin, diretsong record lang tayo ng 60,000. And then October 1, tapos sa December 31, ganun uli, mag-a-accrue ka. Tapos yung amortization, yan, amortization noong discount natin, i-record natin siya as interest income. At yan yung T-account ng investment in bonds. To summarize, di ba yung cost natin 940? Every year for 5 years, i-add back natin yung proportion per year ng discount, which is the 60,000. Itong total na to, 60,000 yan. Ito, nakuha na natin yan 9,000. Ito is December 31 to April 1 is 3 months. So, 3 times 1,000 is yan. Nakuha din natin na at the end of the maturity date, at the maturity date, yung value ng investment in bonds is 1 million. Para, kapag babayaran na tayo noong issuer, ang investment in bonds natin is 1 million na. At marireceive na natin yung cash, no more, no less. Acquisition between interest dates. Parehas lang din yan noong mga ginawa natin kanina. Okay? So, dito, meron kang 1 million at 105. So, ang iyong cash out is 1,050,000 plus yung interest accrued noong February 1. Ang accrued noong February 1 is April 1 to February 1, October 1, October, November, December, January. So, 4 months. 4 divided by 12 times 12% times 1M ay makukuha mo ay 40,000. Tapos, makukuha mo na is nagbayad ka ng 1,050,000 at binayaran mo rin yung accrued interest na 40,000. Kaya ang cash out mo is 1,090,000. Pag including, again, kapag yan ay including, nandun na sa 105 yung 40,000 and yung cash is 150,000. Yan, receive of annual, tapos October 1, receive din. Adjustment for accrued interest. So, December 31, adjust natin. Tapos, at the end of the period, mag-amortize din tayo ng bond premium. Premium siya kasi nagbayad tayo ng 1,090,000 na 1,050,000 dyan is interest in bonds. Pero, ang marireceive lang talaga natin 1 million. So, meron tayong premium na 50,000. Yan, 50,000 ito. 50,000. Okay, 11 months kaya yan ay 1,000 times 11 months from February 1 to December 31. Bakit siya 50? Kasi yung life of bonds from February 2021 at up to its maturity is 50 months. So, titingnan nyo din. Kasi hindi natin siya nakuha mismo sa issuer. Nakuha natin yan sa may hawak din ng bonds. So, yan yung T account. So, kabaliktaran lang, di ba? Mapapansin nyo na yung investment in bonds nung ni-record natin is 1,050,000. Excuse me. Tapos, in-amortize natin yung 50,000. Okay? Ewan ko bakit ang presentation ay nandito yung balance nung April 1. So, dapat itong balance is nandito sa 1M, nasa baba. Tapos, ito is 1,050,000 ang total nito 1,050,000. Needless to say, basta ang ending value ng investment in bonds is 1 million pesos. Okay. Sale of bonds prior to maturity. When investment in bonds is sold prior to the date of maturity, it is necessary to determine the carrying amount of the bond investment to be issued as basis in computing gain or loss on the sale. Sa ganitong kaso, yung amortization ng premium at saka discount is i-recognize natin sa date of sale, kung kailan natin siya ibinenta. Kung ang sale is between interest dates, excuse me, yung the sale price normally includes the accrued interest. Mapapansin nyo, diba, dito, tayo bumili ng bonds at 105 plus accrued interest. So, nagbayad tayo as buyer ng bonds nung value nung nung bonds, nung value ng bonds at 105 plus accrued interest na 40,000. Dito naman, tayo ngayon yung magbebenta ng bonds sa ibang tao. So, yung marireceive natin, yung sales price niya, will be yung bonds na kanina yung 1,050,000 plus yung accrued interest na 40,000. So, yung marireceive natin na cash is 1,090,000. Yan. The difference between the sale price after deducting the accrued interest and the carrying amount of the bond investment represents gain or loss on the sale of the investment. So, sales price versus carrying amount. Sales price minus accrued interest versus the carrying amount, yun yung gain or loss natin. Excuse me. Ayan na yung word na including, okay? So, lumalabas na bumili tayo ng bonds worth 1,075,000 including accrued interest. Huwag ka nang malito, idiretso mo na yung 1,075,000 sa cash, sa credit cash. Interest payable semi-annually May 1 to November 1. So, in between siya, in between interest dates, August 1 to November 1 is August, September, October, 3 months. 3 months divided by 12 times 12% times 1M is 30,000. Yung 30,000 yung interest income mo. Yan. Diretso na sa interest income. Wala na tayong accrued interest receivable. Cost ngayon ng bond investment, ating initial recognition, initial amount niya is 1,045,000. Neto noong accrued interest kasi included yung accrued interest sa 1,075,000. Accrued interest, so sa ganyan pa lang sa mukha niyan, tayo ay merong premium. Kasi ang initial recognized bonds natin is 1,045,000 pero ang value lang naman talaga niya is 1 million. So, lugi tayo, meron tayong premium. Parang ham siya, masyadong mahal yung bonds na yan, kaya siya ay premium. Hanap lang kayo ng way paano nyo maaalala yung mga mga theories, mga explanation sa accounting. Kasi kung saan kayo nakaka-relate, as long as parang tama naman at angkop, pwede. Now, accrued interest purchase is not part of cost. Kasi, di ba ang sabi kanina, kapag bumibili ng bonds, between interest dates, we are buying two separate accounts, the bonds and the interest. November 1, naka-receive tayo ng semi-annual interest. December 1 yan, i-recognize na natin yung accrued interest between dates. So, November 1 to December 31, 2 months divided by 12 times 12% times 1 million. Tapos, yung premium, since straight line method tayo, kunin natin yung life ng bonds. From August 1, 2020, kung kailan natin yung binili, hanggang sa May 2024, meron tayong 45 months. Paano i-compute yung ganyan? Pag mano-mano, ay kapag Excel muna, kapag naka-Excel, i-type mo lang yung 8-1/2020, tsaka sa another cell, 5-1-2025. Tapos, ipag-minusin mo yung dalawa. Positive man o negative makuha mo, i-divide mo sa 30 days. Oo. Tapos makukuha mo yung estimated months. So, try ko. Excel. Ay, hindi ko pala mapakita. Let's see kung kaya ko isuy. Yan. So, yan ang Excel. Kanina ay si August 1, 2020. 8/1/2020. May 1, 2024. May 1, 20. Anong ginawa ko? May 1, 2024. So, dididak ko lang. Kahit naman magkabaliktad yan, makukuha ko yung 1369. I-divide ko siya by 30 days. So, approximately, merong 45. Huwag nyo nang pansinin yung putal, kahit huwag nyo nang i-round up. Kasi, ano lang siya, for computation, ang gusto nyo pa na medyo masalimuot, i-divide nyo siya sa 365 days. Tapos, i-multiply nyo by 31 days. Times 31. Times 12 pala. Times 12 months. Makukuha mo 45. Palong-palong. Kung ito ay divided by 31, hindi, 30 talaga. Mas okay tayo dito. I-divide mo siya sa ilang years, meron in between ng dates, tas i-multiply mo sa 12 months. Ang gamitin mo lang is 365 days. Kapag naman, mano-mano, sana naituro na sa inyo. So, nasa taas yung current date. Merong 4 years difference, pero mas malaki yung nasa baba. So, borrow 1 year. Okay, so meron tayong 3 years. Nagbaro ka ng 1 year, yung 5 mo, dagdagan mo ng 12 months. So, magiging 17. Ito is magiging 23. So, hayaan nyo yung mga value, naging ano lang dito, naging date. I-deduct mo yung days. So, 0 on days. Ang months mo is 17 minus 8. Meron kang 9 months. 9 months. 17 minus 8. Ang 3 years, i-multiply mo sa 12 months. Makukuha mo yung 45. So, ganyan pag mano-mano. Balik tayo sa presentation. Sa 45 months. Sale of bonds. Noong February 1, so interest date yan. Interest date nga ba? Hindi pala, May 1 pala. Binenta natin siya 108. So, at premium natin siya nabenta. Kasi mas mataas na. Tama? Nabenta natin siya ng 108 plus accrued interest. So, i-reconstruct natin yung sentence. Binenta natin yung bonds at 1,080,000. Yan, nanggaling dito. Plus yung interest na from November 1 to February 1 is 3 months times 12% times 1M is 30,000. So, on February 1, 2022, the bonds were sold. The 1 million peso bond were sold at 1,080,000 pesos plus 30,000 pesos. So, meaning naka-receive tayo ng cash na 1,110,000. Magkano yung gain natin dyan? The original cost nung nabili natin siya is 1,045,000. Ito siya. Yan. Wala tayong other movement dyan maliban na lamang sa amortization. Now, first year na 5 million deduction. Tapos, ano pa ba? Yun. Yung amortization from August 1, 2020, kung kailan natin siya nabili, hanggang ngayon is 18 months times 1,000 pesos per month. So, meron tayong 18,000 amortization sa 45. Since this is premium, we will deduct the premium. Ito, premium out of amortization of premium. So, ang carrying amount ng bonds is 1,027,000. Yan yung ibabangga mo sa sales price nung mismong bonds. Hindi mo isasama yung interest. Kasi again, we are selling bonds and the interest. And we are here getting the carrying amount of the bonds alone. Kaya ibabangga mo siya sa sales price ng bonds alone. And your gain in sale on sale is 53,000. The journal entry, amortization, presumably, excuse me, 1 month kasi from January 1 to February 1 is 1 month. Bago pa tayo magbentahan is nagkaroon na tayo ng interest income na 1M, na 1,000. To record ngayon yung sale, yan, yung kung ano lang yung nakuha natin computation dito, ibabangga lang natin sa mga accounts. Naka-receive tayo ng 1.11, meron tayong gain na 53, yung investment in bonds, yung carrying amount niya is 1027, and yung interest income upon computation for 3 months is 30,000.